So first up, really fancy title, long-winded. Basically, I want to share a few examples of the work that the students here at Newington have been doing with me. I'm a language teacher, by way of content creation, so that they can recall some of the, frankly, quite dry content that we ask them to when studying a language. So language teachers for some time have used music as a tool to help boys or students to remember grammar and vocab. Certainly when I was at school we did. Nowadays our students don't tend to listen to music, they tend to watch music videos. So this is an example of one of the many tools that I use in the classroom to help boys remember verb sets. I don't have a sound kit link.
Is it off on that?
Sound icon to the bottom.
Sorry.
All right, so that gives you an idea. Sorry about the sound, or I don't know what happened to our audio there, but you get the idea. So we have been using things like that in the classroom, and the boys very much like it. It is not just something that anecdotally we've done, it's backed up by science. There are lots of studies to show, and as Sam was talking about earlier, and I'm going to grab him later and talk some more, putting terms that we need to remember to music helps us to remember it. The most recent study was done by the University of Edinburgh in July this year, and it focused on language learning using this method, and it's shown to be far more effective than simply trying to learn the words. Now, it's great that our boys can consume this, and it's great that it helps them to remember the text, but we obviously have a high percentage of kinesthetic learners here in a boys' school, and we want them to learn through doing as well. Much of the content that we teach, especially in languages, is not particularly up to date. We teach them phrases from the current textbooks, such as I've lost my floppy disk and can I borrow your Walkman? You can imagine the kind of responses that are elicited when they turn to that page in the textbook. So it's really important that we allow them to create content that is current to them. And similarly, it has to be cool. Now, many of us in this room might use that term. Boys now here, we term it as swag. So it has to be something that they're going to watch. If you're a year 7 boy, that means a certain degree of gratuitous violence in your music video, and that's okay, so long as it doesn't cross a line. So I will. I'll now give an example of what we did, and this is my last bit, I promise. My year 7 boys last year, we came to the end of term, and I asked them to think back over their time doing the year 7, those mandatory 100 language hours, and think about something that they found tricky to remember or difficult to learn, and to think about how they could better teach future year 7s that same content. And I decided that this was sort of something that we were trying, so I gave them blank canvas. I said to them they could do whatever they wanted as long as the tool was effective. They had that autonomy and trust on the understanding that they had to be accountable. So these videos were going to be presented to the rest of the class, and eventually they have been over and over again to the rest of the school. We put them into groups, we let them choose their topic, and we let them roll with it, essentially. They came up with this title, FELP, French e-learning project. So they now all talk about a FELP as if it is a real word. So I'll now jump to the FELP video. They chose this group ER verbs. Very boring. So sort of he helps, she helps, we help, etc. But in French, and they made it more fun. So you'll see exactly what they did. They tried to spell out the verb endings, and then they put on their acting hats, and came the tokenistic gratuitous violence, and they started beating each other, and somebody came along to help. And they set it to music, which is the key part for us. So we'll try and get the sound for you.
Stronger.
Okay, so that's a very, thank you, Rob. That's a very truncated version of the video. It goes on for a few minutes. I will upload it to YouTube later so you can check it out if you want to see the full version. The rap only gets better, and the boys particularly liked it when they got to the she helps part and somebody got to put on the wig and the dress. That was the highlight. So that's just a little bit from me. Thank you very much for your attention.